Vision of the Future is a program produced in conjunction with the Nikkei newspaper, exploring the many issues facing Japan and the world. In 2024, our theme is Things That Only People Can Accomplish. We speak with top Japanese executives as we envision a brighter future together with our viewers. Our guest this time is
Your company is focusing on the logistics business globally. Would you talk about the reasons? Simply put, from a global perspective, populations are continuing to grow. Naturally, along with that, the movement of goods is also increasing. Additionally, we have geopolitical problems and conflicts, as well as events such as the coronavirus pandemic we recently experienced.
I see.
We need to be able to respond to such situations, and compared to before, logistics is becoming ever more complex. In other words, in the global arena, logistics is continuing to expand in terms of both quality and quantity. So, we see this situation as our growth area.
Regionally, where do you see especially strong potential?
I would have to say India is number one. It's now surpassed China as the country with the biggest population in the world, and we also share common democratic values. At the same time, it's an economy showing the steadiest growth. In regards to China, issues related to politics and a lack of business transparency have been a challenge until now, so while various companies have positioned it as a manufacturing hub, they've also been carrying out production in other countries, in a move called China Plus One, which is now becoming India.
I see.
Another area is Eastern Europe, which is positioned as a manufacturing hub in Europe and seen to grow in the future. In January of 2024, we acquired a logistics firm in Europe called Cargo Partner. The company has many sites across Eastern Europe and a strong network. So combined with NX Group's network, we've been able to strengthen the overall network, linking Eastern Europe and Asia.
The coronavirus pandemic caused a crisis for global supply chains. What was the most difficult aspect, and how did you overcome the situation?
Our biggest struggle and concern in the beginning was how to protect the health, safety, and lives of our employees. At the same time, when logistics is stopped, many people lose their livelihood. This has a big impact on society as well. So the work can't be stopped. Some people couldn't leave their homes for 1 or 2 months, while others slept inside warehouses for a month and continued to carry out operations. Their families were at home, and we believe we did everything possible as a company to look after their livelihood by monitoring local conditions and maximizing on-site capabilities.
It must have been very difficult.
Once the situation settled down, we faced growing limitations on our business in regards to transport methods. The biggest was air transport.
I see.
The movement of people had slowed, so airline companies halted flights, and with planes not flying, we lost a method of delivering goods that we typically use. In order to recover from this, we had to charter cargo planes and employ various other methods. Around the world, goods are moved in a very complex way, so we developed a variety of routes. Devising ways to make sure that logistics wouldn't be stopped was our second challenge.
Even with the pandemic subsiding, there is still a number of global issues. In particular, the worker shortage is a problem not only in Japan, but also other countries.
That's true. In order to fundamentally address those issues, I believe it's essential that we aggressively adopt new technologies. So, for example, even if you seek out a perfect system like full automation, unless it's economically feasible, it won't last. In the immediate future, it's important for us to figure out how to integrate new technology and people and address issues such as economic feasibility.
Another global issue is the environment.
I mentioned new technologies earlier, and utilizing things like zero-emission EVs may lead to rapid advancements. But in some aspects, it won't go that smoothly. We want to fully utilize transport methods available now. In other words, rely not only on trucks, but also railways, ships, planes, and various other modes. We need to figure out what combination works best to realize transport that has the lowest impact on the environment, and where to concentrate our inventory so that, in total, we can minimize the need to move goods around. That will also lead to lower costs, and we believe that continuing to make efforts at the same time on those non-technical aspects is what's demanded of us in this age.
Another issue is the supply chain crisis for semiconductors, which are critical for the IT industry and an area your company is also deeply involved in.
Yes, we are currently working to address that as one of our priority industries. We consider semiconductors to be vital for all industries. As geopolitical risks grow, semiconductors are being positioned as a strategic resource, and existing supply chains are changing. For example, in Japan, Kumamoto Prefecture has brought in TSMC, and in Hokkaido's Eniwa City, Rapidus is planning to build a new plant. So there are moves toward a return to domestic production. In response, we are building satellite warehouses to provide full-scale, end-to-end solutions, from the equipment installation stage to logistics after the start of production. We offer services tailored to each of our customers. Our services aren't limited to just a certain part of the process, but are formulated based on a customer's entire supply chain to offer the best logistics options.
This is related to everything you've talked about, but would you tell us what you believe is the mission of a logistics firm?
Above all else, it's to connect the world. By delivering goods, we can solidly connect people to people, company to company, and society to society. In doing so, people can feel a sense of reassurance. They can live their lives with peace of mind, and companies can continue economic activities with a sense of stability. I believe that's our mission.
In that mission, what do you as the company president want to deliver to the world?
I want to connect the world and deliver a sense of security. When you go to a store, you can find what you want. Goods are where they're supposed to be. That sense of security. Or being able to engage in corporate activity and produce goods also with a sense of security. Operating a business with stability. It's not simply about transporting goods from one place to another. But in moving goods, I want to deliver that sense of security to people around the world. And if people recognize us for that, and we can keep growing, nothing would make me happier.